Hey everybody, we are live in the Sculpted Vegan Kitchen Facebook group and also on the Sculpted Vegan Instagram. I am here with Chef Lee, Kim Constable's very own personal chef. And before we forget, happy Thanksgiving to all of our American members and anybody who's celebrating today. We are going to be making homemade tofu, which some of you might be having for dinner today. So it's going to be a good recipe, but it is also going to be from scratch, which personally I have never made before. Lee, how is it when you're making tofu from scratch?
It's actually quite simple. Yeah. It's quite straightforward. As I say, like, you make it as difficult as you want and as simple as you want, and the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Brilliant. Yeah. And with this recipe, it is going to be quite a quick one today, so even better if you're very quick.
So I think that's what they want to.
Yeah, I think so. Simple, quick tofu recipes. What are the ingredients that our members are going to need today?
All you need is soy milk with no sugar. You don't want the sweetness get in, and it's less calories. The magnesium chloride and just water.
Brilliant.
And then obviously the herbs and spices, it comes after.
Fabulous. So I'm going to be asking Lee, he's going to be making like the basic recipe. We are going to be putting Kim's favourite spice mix into it. And what is in that one?
It has cayenne, salt, pepper, obviously, cayenne, cinnamon, cumin, and paprika.
Put you on the spot for that one.
Yeah, I had to think of everyone because I've already got it in the bowl.
So with that as well, there's like so many options with tofu. You can marinate it, you can add the spices as you're cooking.
It's endless. You can marinate it, you can basically crumble it as your eggs in the morning. You can turn it into chicken in your seitan. It's so versatile, and it's good that you make your own because it's more rewarding then.
Yeah, no, totally. So obviously for ease you can get store-bought, but actually budget friendly. I think homemade tofu is so easy to do, and especially if you go through as much tofu as we can in the Sculpted Vegan, it is a really good recipe to have. So we've got our ingredients. Can you tell us our equipment that we need? And
yes,
so the guys today.
So the ingredients for the tofu, all you need is the soy milk, the magnesium chloride, and this is just the water. All the ingredients are in the recipe card, so it's all there. I'm just going to do it by hand here, just to show you how easy it actually is.
Can I check with... Oh, so this is one thing. I do know from our previous programs that sometimes members have had a little bit of... Well, is this full soy milk or light soy milk?
This is full soy milk because you want the curd. If you go light, then it's going to be too watery. You get more like silken tofu.
Okay, perfect. So I know sometimes in previous programs when we've used light soy milk, members haven't been able to get it, but we've got full soy milk, and if we ever do use light soy milk, you can just add water to it to make it light, but this is our full soy milk. I have never heard of this ingredient before. Did you just get that from...
Yeah, it's magnesium chloride, just a chemical compound of it. It's basically extracted from the sea you can get it from.
Okay.
And it's just salt, and it just breaks down the soy milk.
Amazing. So, is this what our end product's going to look like?
This is the one I made earlier, but I'm getting to do it now. So that's the tofu, the way it's set. So as you can see, the more you press that in the tofu press, the firmer it'll be. But I think that's perfect, because if you want to crumble that, as say, if you want to crumble that, so it's your scrambled eggs in the morning, guys.
Ah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So,
and with the tofu, Lee, it is such a versatile dish. Before we start getting into making it, what would Kim eat her tofu with? So obviously we're just going to make tofu on its own, but we're going to give you lots of ideas, like what dishes you can add it to.
As I say, guys, it's so versatile. I do it with salads, I do it with noodle dishes, I do it with stir fries, I do it with katsu curries. A good thing with tofu, if you freeze it and then thaw it and break the ice off the edge, the corners around the edge, and you thaw it and you pan fry it, it has the texture of chicken. It's actually quite strange.
Yeah.
And then if you pan it, which in the chefing industry it's just flour, egg whites, breadcrumb, and you like shallow fry it, you end up with nice wee crispy bits of chicken.
I would not have known what that meant. Thank you for clarifying.
I'll do that.
The chef terms, that was great. Yeah. So I've got a little question here before we get started. Ursula has asked, can you make your own soy milk?
Yeah, very much so.
I think so. We're not going to do it today, but you're welcome to if you want to.
Here sometimes do the almond milk and sometimes the oat milk. It's quite easy. You just need the correct machine.
Brilliant, amazing. Brilliant. So we've got our equipment ready. We've got our ingredients. So we're going to get started on our tofu.
Follow me, guys. As I say, this is quite simple. So just a wee medium-sized pan.
And how many milliliters is that soy milk?
It's, I think, straight off my head, I think it's 650, but the recipe in the recipe card, it's all exact because it's different to grams to what it is.
Perfect.
2 cups, but it's 4 cups if that's easier for
Yeah.
everybody.
Now for all our members, again, in America, we will be working with our UK measurements of milliliters, but I know at times that can be a little bit confusing for you, but Google is your friend if you ever need that for conversions.
Off my head, I think it's 750 grams, 650 mil or 750 mil, and 4 cups.
Perfect.
So that's just off my head, and you're sure
Brilliant.
right. So this is just a wee pan. You want to use a wooden spoon because you don't want any anything leaching into the milk. As if you use a silver spoon, there's like a chemical reaction, and you don't want that. You just want to use a wooden
And what
spoon.
temperature did you put that on?
This is on a medium to low. Sorry, medium to high. It'll start off once that comes up to a boil. I take it off and put it over to a simmer. So you just want to bring that up to temperature 9. Meanwhile, you just want to. This is the magnesium chloride and a 1/4 cup of water.
Do you know what it does to
It
tofu?
just
Is it like a raising or binding?
It's like curds and whey. It just splits it.
Okay.
It just basically splits it. So it's about a teaspoon there. And just putting that in. You want that to completely dissolve.
Very chunky.
It's very chunky, but it'll break down whenever it's in the water. And as I say, guys, sometimes it's playing with this and doing this myself. Sometimes it takes less, sometimes it takes more. I don't think it's going to mess with the macros too much.
Yeah.
So if you use less or more, it's no problem.
Yeah. With tofu, we do use it in many of our meal plans, but do always be aware of it as a vegan protein source. It is a higher fat vegan source, but we've also again got like the likes of our seitan, which we've got a recipe of within the Sculpted Vegan Kitchen group, which is that more kind of higher protein shred food. So tofu definitely is a shred friendly food, but kind of more minimal. Kim definitely prefers more seitan, kind of higher up, more of it during the week than tofu.
Yeah, it just depends.
Yeah.
She just lets me just do what I want, and I serve it to her, and she eats it and loves it most of the time anyway.
Kim loves all of the food.
Yeah,
Down the hatch in one. So, how long did you stir that for?
A couple of seconds,
Yeah.
30 seconds. Doesn't really take long. As I say, it just looks like water again now.
Perfect.
So, pretty much easy enough. As I say, this is so simple, guys. So all you're doing now is waiting on this coming up to temperature.
And what are we? So again, as someone who burns a lot of things, what are we looking for? Just slightly bubbling, boiling.
Once it's bubbling, you'll know. It's like if you put milk on or anything, it's going to start foaming and coming out of the pot. So you don't want that.
Yeah.
Then you're losing liquid.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that. You just want to make sure, and you're still watching it. You've not really much else to do. If you prepare everything else in advance, like the spice and the oil, which is quite easy. It's no problem at all. You're able to stand over it, watch it, and the whole process takes 3 to 5 minutes.
How many? So most people, when you buy store-bought tofu, it kind of makes like about 280 gram block of tofu. Like guess-wise, how much of grams is this going to make today?
I think this gets you around 120, so
Okay.
probably half that.
Yeah, amazing, brilliant.
But as I say, the reward of making it yourself is so much better.
Yeah.
And you like double this or quadruple it, and then as long as you have a big enough sieve to strain it,
Yeah.
same thing.
Brilliant. And with this is actually my tofu press that I lent Lee. Do you feel people do need a tofu press? I know that in other recipes there's been talk that you could just like put like something heavy on top of it.
Yeah, you can put something heavy. It just depends. You don't want to put too much weight on it
Yeah.
at the start. If you put too much weight on it at the start, you're going to break it.
Yeah.
So you want it to set like a firm block, just like that there. But the more weight and the more pressure you put on it, the firmer it becomes.
Brilliant.
So
Yeah.
if you don't have a tofu press, you're going to end up with something not so much like silken tofu, with a wee bit more of a texture to it.
Yeah.
But sorry guys, so
You're getting started. I got tofu press off Amazon. Everything's off Amazon.
so this is up to the boil now, guys. And just put it down. This is a lower. If you're at home and you say you have a gas ring, you just right up until it's bubbling, and then just turn the gas down until it's a wee low flame, and then look, it's just a wee simple simmer.
Yeah. Has it thickened at all, or
No,
is it just
no,
just
no,
heated
there's
now?
plenty of time before that would thicken. So as I say, this is what you're putting in. So I always put in about 3/4, and then you just simmer it away for a couple of minutes. Once you see the solids starting to split, and you see it starting to turn like a pale yellow, see where you can see it splitting?
Is that like curdling?
Curdling.
Ah.
That's
oh my gosh, yeah, it happens really fast.
Yeah, that's what you want. So if you see that happening, guys, don't use the rest of that because you don't really need it.
And that was only like 10 seconds. In
5-10 seconds. You want to cook it out a wee bit though.
Yeah.
And you want to see that pale yellow colour, because once you've done that, that's how you know you've done your job right.
Okay. So if it was like sort of 5-10 seconds and nothing was happening, would you have added more, do you think?
If 5-10 seconds, a couple of times making it, I'm like, oh, that's not happening. So I just have a wee extra solution there, add a wee bit more in, and the same things happen. So as you see, guys, it doesn't look so appetizing.
No, not right now.
But it's all about the end. It's all about the end product.
Oh yeah.
So that's it, guys. So that's it. So basically, it's split
That's
out.
crazy.
Yeah. So this next part is dangerous, guys. So
Stand back.
all you need to is sorry, I forgot to mention is a muslin cloth.
Okay.
You need it so it strains it. It's so fine as where if you use a sieve, most of it's just going to get lost.
Yeah. So we've got sieve. And is this is the,
Just
the middle part of the tofu press?
That has the wee drain on it.
And then
the muslin cloth.
okay. Could you use even like two kind of sieves, like what, a smaller one and a bigger
As
one?
long as it's really fine. I've never did it. You could give it a go. So you slowly want to do that. You need to be careful, guys, because this is really, really hot. And then I just stand for a wee minute or two and just let it drain. And
It is so much easier than I thought.
yeah,
And
so
quick.
you're just playing with the cloth just to get most of the liquid out, but naturally, most of the liquid will drain out the bottom there.
Yeah. Ursula's asked, so again, if you don't know these questions so clearly, is there any type of soy milk this doesn't turn out, and maybe some additives we should look for?
Every soy milk that I've used the light, I've used the soy milk, I've used the sweetened one. They all worked out for me. That's the only thing I've used soy. I've never used any other milks like oat milk or almond milk or anything like that. I think it's a completely different thing. Anyway. So as you see, guys, this is the product now. As you see, it's firming already.
Yeah.
So that's firm. Sorry, it's hot, so it's a bit burny. And I'm feeling it there, so that's perfectly it.
Yeah.
That's it. So if you go over to the wee container here, I just put it in there, and then I put the lid on, squeeze a wee bit more juice out so the juice runs in the inside to the bottom of that. And then, as I say, the tighter you want that, the tighter you put that, the firmer the tofu becomes.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of filled up half. So if you did just double that,
if you do double, it's going to be different. You need to be
full
careful
block.
then, because you don't want to squish it.
Okay.
You don't want to do that. That's the last thing you want, because you've just put the effort into making it yourself.
Yeah. Do you think then, if you want to make more tofu, just make more individual blocks rather
Make more
than
individual
larger
blocks, or
amounts?
make like have it firm it with how it becomes like that, and then just pour it onto the tray. The only thing is you'll have to just pat it and get the liquid out at the end. It'll be perfectly fine.
That's so easy, bro.
Yeah.
So easy.
And as I say, this is Kim's favourite wee spice mix, and I'm just going to put it with a nice salad today, guys. But the salad isn't in the recipe card. It's just the tofu, just to make it simple.
Can I butt in before we get here?
Of
So we've done our cooking. We've got it pressing. So how long would you leave it in the press for?
So I leave it in the press for about 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and then I'm able to look at it before it goes into the fridge.
Oh, so
And then
outside the fridge first?
Yeah, outside the fridge for about 30 minutes. And then whenever it's done that, so I'm able to look at it. If I want it firmer, I make it tighter.
Yeah.
Or if I want it like less firmer, I just don't put as much
And what
pressure
would
on
you
it.
just be like poking it, or what would you?
Just doing what I did there. Honestly, guys, it's so easy.
I'm a very visual person. I need to know what to look
The
for.
the finger test.
The finger test, the finger bounce back test.
Yeah. So nice and firm.
It really firms up really quickly.
Yeah. So I want to show you. It's so nice. So that's near set already. There you go.
Amazing.
There's your tofu done.
Can you? So I guess we're gonna season or marinate it after. Can you add spices while you're cooking? Or
You
is it
can,
better to do
if
it
you
after?
want, you can honestly, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can put the spices in and cook it in the liquid, and then it'll be all through the tofu.
Yeah.
I've never did that.
Yeah.
I like to make the tofu and then marinate it. So
Yes.
it basically it's on the outside. Of
Yeah.
the tofu.
Oh, that's nice. That's good.
But you
Brilliant.
can use. Let me see. So this is just the tofu, and this is the way it turns out. So 30 minutes in the press, and then I leave it in the fridge for about 2 to 3 hours to fully cook and fully set. So as I say, this is Kim's wee spice mix. So in with the oil.
Is it the garlic infused oil?
Garlic infused oil, you can use
Lovely.
normal oil, you can use chili oil, you can use, there's loads of different oils out there.
Is that like about a teaspoon, would you
It's,
say?
I think it's at the half teaspoon or a teaspoon.
teaspoon.
Yeah, can't remember what I put on. the start.
Lovely, all good.
So it's just your wee spice mix there. And
So that
then
was our, I'm going to try and remember, cayenne pepper, cinnamon, and what was that wrong? Cumin.
and smoked paprika.
Ah, there we go.
Then you get a pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Kim loves her pepper. Bit of salt. And as I say, you can be as adventurous as you want to be. You can be as adventurous and put the seasonings and herbs and flavours into the tofu while it's cooking.
Yeah.
So that's it. So
And this is the thing with, we use, you know, tofu in our shred recipes and our seitan and everything else. Like, when we shred, the best thing that we do is we suggest that you shred like a bodybuilder. So a bodybuilder is that you make, you know, six days of the same menu and the same food, and you just eat it. And it can get a bit boring and a bit monotonous. So the thing that you can do is then add your different spices to it and your different seasonings. Mm-hmm. Now, myself, off the top of my head, I'm not very good at them coming to my mind. Kim has like a really impressive spice shelf.
Free shelves, it's
so
endless.
I actually wanted to have a wee look at it and pick Lee's brain on it. So as you can see, I think they're all in alphabetical order as well.
Organisation, the OCD kicks in a wee bit. Yeah. And they all have to be facing. Why are these not facing? Come on.
So they are like amazing. Now, I do not have this spice selection. I think my spices are about 3 years old and never been opened, and they're out of date now.
Most herbs, spices are fine, and they'll always go past their sell-by date.
Yeah.
They'll just lose their flavour. That's the only thing. But as I say, it's okay if they're 3 months old or 6 months old or a year old. Just use them up. Just use them up.
What would you say? So I want to start creating this spice selection like this. Like, what are the if there was 5 to start with, or like my basic ones I could mix together the most, what would you say?
Well, basically, if you want Asian, it's because I'm a chef. I know flavours that work with other things. This is a wee bit of both the one I'm doing today, because you have cumin and you have the smoked paprika, which is more like Mexican or Spanish. But the salad I'm serving it with is like Asian.
Okay.
So just do what you want. Just enjoy yourself. And then if you don't like it, try something else the next time.
Yeah.
So if you want Mexican, you're going for smoked paprika. You can go for the garlic. You can go for the cumin. You've cinnamon. You've got, what else? In Mexican, there's so much more. You've got ground coriander seeds. If you roast them and put them in a wee pan and just slowly bring out the flavour and bring out the oils, it helps with the flavour.
Cinnamon's really good as well for sweet cravings. Like anything, I used to do that when I was doing my bodybuilding preps, like my oats. I would sprinkle cinnamon over. It doesn't completely take the edge off, but like any little helps.
Yeah.
What about for and Asian spices?
So if you want to do Asian, you've got Chinese 5-spice. You've got, you can use fennel, it's no problem at all. You can use fenugreek, you can use clove, you can use coriander and cumin in Asian too. Let me see, you've got ground mace, you've got herbs, dried herbs. Clove usually works very well too. And cayenne, obviously, for a wee bit of heat.
Oh yeah. And while we're here, so I always know if our members,
star anise also is very good. The only thing is you grate the star anise.
Okay. It's like what? So it's like, okay, I've got my meal plans. You know, even at the moment we've got our ultimate 12-week shred going on. So the ladies have been for 12 weeks now shredding, and it's starting to get, you know, pretty rough and pretty tough. So I had shared Kim's favourite spice mix in the group to help get them through with their tofu for this week. Members are always looking for spice mixes, but also is there more kind of like mixtures of apple cider vinegar, like flavorings that way? Would you suggest any like low, maybe not for Ultimate 12, but for low calorie additions?
Depending what you're doing. If you're doing tofu, you don't really want it. Like you have to be careful with vinegar, because you can either make it taste sour.
Yeah.
You don't want tofu tasting sour. So vinegar's a strange one. Like you have to be very careful. That's for whenever you're elevating and you know what you're doing.
Yeah. So what about for more?
You can't just hack everything. No.
What about, so say we had tofu with a big bowl of broccoli. How could we flavour like so not the tofu, but like the block broccoli?
So easy. So listen, what I done is I put that in that tray with that herb and that spice mix and the garlic oil. See if you just finely cut up your broccoli and you toss it through the tofu with the seasoning and through the herbs and the spices and things like that. toss it through and bake it.
Yeah.
The only thing is the broccoli will take a wee bit longer, and depending on how crunchy you like it. Same thing.
I've had I think you did like courgette slices, and then Kim loves, was it here, the tahini or?
Oh, tahini.
Tahini spice.
Yeah, that's
Kim
another.
loves this.
Honestly, guys, this goes with anything.
Yeah.
And Kim will tell you the same. Kim has it with everything. There's salads that I make,
Yeah.
there's dinners that I make, and I come in the next day and there's a bottle of tahini. And I go, did she put that on my dinner? But honestly,
Take no offence, she
it's
just
not.
really likes it.
She loves it, and she loves her spice too.
That is a must-have. We always recommend
Definitely,
that.
it's quite hard to get. It's
Okay.
quite hard. I think it's Amazon.
It's probably all our
Yeah.
ultimate 12ers have sold out Amazon by getting the tahini recently.
Yeah.
So we've got our tofu, so that's still setting. Oh, it's here.
No, so I have it in. So as we
Right.
were talking, 2 birds, 1 stone. So I just put it on the tray with the herbs and spices. In. You want to cook spices out.
Yeah.
They're just not. They're very gritty and like flavoursome.
Yeah.
Sorry, not so flavoursome. Whenever you don't cook them out, when you cook them out, it just brings on.
So what temperature did you put that at then?
That's
roughly?
well 180 to 350.
Yeah.
So it's 180 Celsius to 350 Fahrenheit.
Okay. And with tofu, again, if you don't know, it's okay. Do you know roughly when you make the likes of this for Kim, like how long it takes in the fridge? Can you freeze marinated tofu?
Oh, tofu fresh. When you make it fresh, you get 3 to 4 days out of
Okay.
it once it's open. But then obviously you can freeze it down. It will last about.
Okay. And you could freeze it with the marinades and everything on it?
You could do if you want. There's no
Yeah.
problem. Then when you take it out, there's just baking it for your meal preps. So
Yeah.
it's nice and easy. It's just straight in the
Yeah.
oven. The only thing is, it takes on a different texture, so it's not going to take on exactly the same way when you first cook it. Because as I say, when you freeze tofu, it actually becomes like chicken. It's quite strange.
Oh, I like the texture of it.
Yeah.
Somebody has asked, Arsa saying this looks so easy so far, and Gail is saying as
Good,
well,
thank you.
this looks like fun. I really had no idea that I could make it at home. Me neither. Like it
So
is
easy.
so
That's
simple.
what I'm here for, guys. To make it easy for you. And I keep saying throughout the weeks, easy, but it actually is really easy.
It really is. And honestly, guys, like any other ideas that come to your mind of recipes that you would like us to, not like the royal us, Lee to try, I'll just be here. Do put them in the Sculpted Vegan Kitchen group. You know, if it's any like sweet treats coming up to Christmas, we're going to be doing what was that? What decide on?
Meatloaf.
A vegan meatloaf.
Yeah.
So we'll get that for you guys, so you're all kitted out for Christmas. And I think that's one of Kim's festive
Oh, she
favourites.
loves it. She loves it, and it's so good. And it's a good thing too. You're using just as you would if you were like if you ate meat. You're just using the Beyond Meat just instead, and the flavour of it's beautiful.
Brilliant.
And again, as I'm saying, it's easy.
Yeah, because I think what we find in a lot of our programs sometimes is that like one member of the family is either doing one of our programs or they are a vegan, but especially when it comes to like the holiday periods, there's like 20 other people in their houses aren't, you know, and they're really feeling that they're kind of like the odd one out, or they're trying to cook for everybody but keep everybody happy. But it sounds really like that meatloaf. It could be, nobody will know.
And it's
Such a
Christmas.
good
Eat as much as you want.
Yeah, oh, 100%.
Yeah.
With so with the tofu, with this particular spice mix, what would you? So this is more like a
This is more like
Mexican one or Indian one, did you say?
As I say, the flavours are more towards Mexican, with the smoked paprika and the cayenne and the cumin. But I'm putting it on a wee Asian salad. You just work with the flavours and you can play about. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There's been a few times it doesn't work for me, but every day's a school day.
Yeah, and this is made about roughly 140 grams ish of tofu.
I'd say about 140 to 180. I will weigh it after.
Yeah.
I'll let you know just so Laura can.
Perfect. So this would be what we would use as one serve in our meal plan. So just so everybody kind of has a bit of a visual. At times, sometimes we've even done double this for a serve. So you know it is a good shred-friendly food where you can eat like a lot of it. Like that is like a lot of pieces of tofu. You know, and the more you're eating and chewing, the more full you're going to be from it. It's really really.
Well, I have it as serves too, but we'll play with that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So
Brilliant.
listen, guys. So here's one I made earlier. This is just the tofu, and you can check it for seasoning, whatever way you like.
Right.
But I just have a. What did I do? I just have a wee salad. I've just made a wee Napa slaw. So it's just courgette, cabbage, carrot with some nice wee crisp leaves. And then I just pickled some, and radish actually, and I just done wee Parisian balls. Just got a wee bit creative. What you can do too, you can do julienne, or you can do batten, you can do circular, whatever you feel like. And as I said, it all works the same. I just pickled the cucumber in it, just soy sauce, sesame, wee tiny bit of sesame oil. As I say, this isn't in the recipe card, guys. Soy sauce, sesame oil, salt, pepper, and chili flakes.
Oh my
and
gosh.
then it's just in the salad.
Brilliant.
And then, let me see.
Here's me as the non-cook. When you pickle something, is it you put it in like a jar and leave it for a while?
Yeah, just like kimchi or anything like that, yeah.
How long do you leave it for?
You can leave it as long as you want. The longer it's in there, the better it gets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's just half of it there, guys. And this is just a wee dressing I made for lunch. It's just a wee sweet chilli and burnt lime dressing with a wee bit of coriander.
There's so much flavour in like every part of this.
Obviously,
so
the
good.
macros goes up when you're using sauces, guys. This isn't on the
recipe card.
but as I say, you don't have to have the sauce. And that's just me being fancy and being a chef.
Ooh, very fancy. But really not, it's so simple.
Yeah,
But
it
just
is so simple.
looks so good. Tara asked, how long do you recommend freezing tofu for? Is there like a max you've ever kind of played with before?
To be honest, guys, the longest I've froze tofu for, I have to be honest, the longest I froze tofu for is about 2 hours, but that's only to turn it into the chicken.
Oh, okay.
So like, to get that texture,
Yes.
and then at the frosting,
Yeah.
I haven't froze it, so I don't know exactly the
Yeah.
length of time.
Yeah.
I'd say most things, 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, that sounds good. So we've got our marinated tofu that you can see. Talk us just one more time through this salad.
Marinated tofu with pickled cucumber and a wee radish carrot and cabbage slaw, like a Napa slaw.
Oh, amazing. And
And
then
some crisp leaves.
what was the little dressing that you put
Just
over
like
it?
a wee sweet chili and burnt lime.
Oh my gosh, amazing. So, like guys, honestly, under half an hour of our demo. Now, obviously, we would have this tofu sitting, so if you're making it yourself, you're leaving that for 30 minutes, and then how many hours again in the fridge?
2 hours. It's if you want to use it that day, 2 hours.
Yeah.
You do it on the fridge.
Could you make it like a night before, and then leave it overnight,
Oh,
and then just start this process
Yeah,
over the
just
next
as long as
day?
you use it within the 2 to 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days max.
Brilliant. Now, I personally never thought tofu was going to be this easy to make.
Simple.
Did you ever think before you'd ever made it for the first time either?
When
Would it be
I-
as easy, or?
When I first started here, I was hearing the seitan. I'd never heard of a piece of seitan. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Took me a wee bit, but then obviously I just got into it, and it just
Yeah.
got easier and easier. The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah, so honestly guys, such a simple recipe, an expensive recipe. I'm going to start on my spice selection.
Yeah, just build it
I'll
up.
put it together.
The last, don't ever go by the celery.
No, it'll be fine. And
It's real spice.
this is, again, one of our secrets to shredding. We've got our green cruciferous vegetables that we love for our really good healthy carbs. But, you know, shred food doesn't have to be boring. You've got all the spices that you can add to it, the different seasonings and everything, so that you can shred away but still have all the taste and flavour as well from it. But thank you very much, Lee, for today.
Thank you.
And we will see you again in our next live cooking demo. See you later, guys.
Cheers later.